I'm Maisie. I'm the Community Outreach Manager here at Rue News, and we invited everyone running for SGA President to come and talk about their platform. Let's hear what they have to say. Perfect.
I know at the school.
Hello, my name is Andrew Tracy and I'm running for the SGA President.
Hi everybody, my name is Kyle Corcoran and I'm running for Student Government President this year.
Hello, my name is Logan Grigsby and I am running for the Student Government President at UMKC.
My name is Michael Vierman and I'm running for Student Government, Student Body President.
What is one big thing you want to get accomplished, or the one thing you want to get accomplished if you get elected?
That's a great question. Honestly though, I don't think there's one big project I have in mind. More so I care about representing the students and broadcasting their voices. I'm continuing the Rue Refresh program. I was the creator of the tip box for SGA. So I'm all about, just hearing out students and delivering that information to administration. So I just want to get as much valuable data as possible and hand it over to administration.
That's a fair question. So, just a little backstory. I've been involved with SGA pretty all the time. I've been here involved as president of the Graduate Student Council since 2022. I've been their senator, currently the SAFC rep for them. To be honest, student government right now, I don't believe functions very well for students, undergrad, graduate students. So, what I want to see changed, it needs to do more actions on what student needs are. So, it needs to address more research support for grad students. It needs to address wages for student workers. They don't make enough money. So that'd be a big change immediately.
Absolutely. So there are many platforms that I want to talk about, but the biggest one I always talk about is mental health awareness and advocacy. I think we will live in very kind of trying times. There are a lot of things going on in the world, especially in the last 5-6 years, even the last 10 years. So mental health has always been something that has affected me personally. I know many people who have dealt with that from so many different issues, from I don't want to get into the politics of the world, but from war to people being prejudiced and things like that. So I want to make sure that UMKC has equitable, equality, space, treats everybody the same, everybody feels welcome, and that Place is a place that they can call a community and that they can call a home.
My biggest thing that I'm campaigning on is turning Root Serve, which is the biggest volunteering club on campus, into a student organization council so that we can have centralized volunteering on campus, really just expand that with the students. So Root Serve, they are a student organization on campus where they have a bunch of students that are representatives for a bunch of different community organizations such as KC Pet Project. They volunteer with Harvesters, and what their goal is pretty much to get students involved on campus. And so I'd like to expand their platform. Other than that, I'd be liking to expand student campus life by supporting our campus organizations.
What made you want to run this year?
I am the current SGA President, except I only had a semester. And I think making change here on campus takes longer than a semester, and it certainly takes longer than a year. But I think setting a good foundation is important for the student government, and that's what I want to do, and that's why I'm running again, is to continue with what I'm doing and really set some form of traditions and stabilities for SGA.
So I've ran before a couple times. This time is especially different because I think it would be, the field is a little more open, because the incumbent who used to be here is not here anymore, so he's gone. So I think this time it's a little more open for me, and also none of the issues I've seen as grad council president have never been addressed properly, and it's getting worse. So the student wages are getting worse, especially. I'll give you an example. So last year, I was working with the grad council. I went to this outside org called Work and Strike Back. We were on campus talking to students, and they were telling us that as they work at the library, they work at the rec center, they're making $8 an hour. And they're making $10 an hour at the union, and then grad students doing teaching assistants or research assistants are getting paid once a month, so about $2,200 is the max you can get. None of that is sustainable for anybody. A lot of grad students have children, I have a child myself. You can't live on that. Mm-hmm. And then undergrads, they should not have to suffer making $8 an hour because they're working at a job. And it just doesn't seem like student government they keep talking about it in a couple of years, but nobody's doing anything about it.
Absolutely. So I am a transfer student. I came from Johnson County Community College. I served 2 years on student government over there. I served a year as a senator and then a year as president over here. I'm currently serving as the senator, so this is kind of my last year here. And I said, why not? I think everybody I'm running against is a very, very qualified, great candidate, but I just think that I have a lot of very excellent student government experience, so I think I would make a really good fit for the role.
This year, I am a president of a couple clubs on campus. I am the president of the Breakfast Club, which is we do free food in the mornings, and then we also have volunteering events where we get people some free food, and we take them out to go volunteer at like Nourish KC or Harvesters, like I just mentioned. I'm also the president of UMKC Weightlifting. And so, I mean, I have a lot of involvement on campus in terms of clubs and campus life. And really, I'd just like to see that grown and really expanded upon.
What sets your platform apart from the other candidates?
Every single one of our candidates is qualified and has been involved in student government in some way in the past. I think what sets myself apart as a presidential candidate is the fact that I have more SGA experience than every single other candidate combined. So do the rest of my people on my ticket.
Sure. So I think the big one is that, like I said, me and my running mate David, we really want to stress that student government needs to function better for students. So how to do that? It needs to be able to support student workers. So we really want to push for some type of unionization for all student workers, not tied to the school, right? So student government would sponsor it and maybe give it some money, but not. Maybe not, we're not there, but we wanted to give it a sponsor. So that's kind of the big difference. We're pushing for student workers here.
Absolutely. Well, that's obviously a trying question. I haven't had a lot of too much conversations with the other candidates, but from what I understand, a lot of us honestly have some of the same ideas. A lot of us do want to focus on mental health. Some of them do want to help empower our student employees and just our regular employees. I've heard through unionization, which is something I'm very much on board with. So I think a lot of our platforms are along the same lines. That being said, I think we just have different approaches and different work ethics and the different amount of work we can put into the candidacy. So I think, honestly, like I said, we are really similar. It's just how we can approach it, what kind of networks we're tied into. I'm on the exec board of about 3 or 4 different clubs and organizations across campus, so I just feel like I already have a lot of experience and boots on the ground effort to communicate with the students and get their voice and feedback heard and given to the administration.
We are a collection of student leaders that have been on campus for 3-4 years. We're all coming back. We have candidates that have currently served in student government. Big thing about student government, they haven't achieved much in the last few years. The whole point of student government is to be a platform for the student's voice and to really push back against UMKC and the administration to achieve change. However, we have heard constant complaints about the foodiverse. We have heard constant complaints about student organizations not receiving the support they need, tuition hikes. My 4 years since I've been here, there has been either a tuition hike, a hike in the meal plans, or a hike in just some other form of price around campus, and there's really been no pushback. I have a pretty easy year coming up next year, and I'd like to actually be that voice and push back against all that. So I guess to say against the other administrations running, I'm the one that's going to make the actual fight to see some change.